Welcome, I am Ahmed. Today's video is regarding laptop use, especially your battery. So I'll be giving you 5 tips that can help you to take note of your batteries properly. Come in, let's go. First tip, there's this general preconception that a laptop battery do overcharge. Well, maybe sometimes in history you can have your laptop overcharged, but not any longer. You know why? Number one, your battery itself, the battery alone, it has a panel in it that actually can help it communicate between the battery cells itself and then the panel on the system. They can communicate with themselves. So there is a charging voltage on your system that is being enabled by some design. A charging voltage is being supplied to the battery to actually let it charge. So that's the first thing to take note of. Then once it is charging and it is full, that is, it gets to 100%, there is also another panel within the battery I mentioned earlier that can help you take charge and tell that same IC that I am full, me, the battery, I am full, so I don't need that voltage any longer. So it can be designed in a way that voltage 3, for instance, if it's 3 volts that supplies to the battery to charge it, but often it's usually between 9 and 12 volts. So voltage 9 or volt 9 volts, when it gets to the battery, that battery can actually tell the system that I don't need it any longer. So it shorts to ground. So you can just say 9 times 0 is going to be 0. So that voltage will stop. It will no longer come to the battery again. So the charging is going to stop. So that in a way helps us shut down the power that charges the battery. You understand? At any point in time when the battery is full, either the system is off at that moment or it's being in use. So that is why most of the time when you are using your system and you suddenly remove your charger, it can switch, because there's a switching MOSFET, there's a switching device on the panel that does all those jobs. So every single thing that is on the system is being accounted for by a particular component on the other. So in essence, I'm saying there is nothing like overcharging, but I'm not trying to say you should then leave your laptop to power all night. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. But I'm saying there is nothing like overcharging any longer when it comes to a laptop. So let's take the next one. A lot of people like to, when there is no power, when there is no, your charger is not on the system and it's on 100%, you are watching that very interesting movie, or you are on your internet, you are browsing. So your battery is giving them a warning that I'm in 20%, 15%, and they refuse to shut down. Then when you leave it to 10%, 5%, then it goes up. There is a trouble. Most of the time you might be lucky that the system, whenever you have power again, you can then plug in your charger and it begins to work. Yes, I know. But there are some times that it goes below the required voltage. There is, just take for instance, 9 volt charges your battery and your battery drops below 9 volts. It will be very difficult for the system, the panel on it, to charge it at that moment. It will be very difficult. So once it is difficult, you have to see a technician. And in that case, we'll have to collect a lot of money from you, because you have made your battery your battery has gone into a state that we can say it's dormant already. So sometimes, if the battery is still a very good battery, sometimes we're able to wake it up. Let's use that language. We're able to wake it up from the land of the dead, But if it is not so, then you might have to purchase another battery. So it is always good when your battery is giving you that warning that I am getting low. I am getting low. 20%, 15% is okay. Try to shut it down, no matter how interesting the movie is. So just to save yourself some cash. You want to check your battery health before purchasing a laptop. How do you do that? Let's come to our system. So the first thing you have to do clearly is, number one, you want to check the battery health of the system. Exactly. So you go to your search bar, then you type in CMD. On CMD, Windows gives you that command prompt, then you click on Run as Administrator. When you do that, you click Yes, then it takes you to the command environment. From there, you can type in your power CFG space / battery report. Battery report should be together, then you punch your enter key. Then it's going to generate the battery report for you and inform you that it has done that. So let's wait for it as it gives me the report. Okay, thank you. Now it has given me battery life report saved. So life report, that is the entire thing that has been used before, especially when you are buying a fairly new laptop. So it's giving me the battery life report. So I'm copying the content, then I'll use my Ctrl+C to copy. Your right clicking will not work in this environment. Okay, so what you need to do next is just take your Windows Explorer, take your Windows Explorer. I have it now. Then, in the search box of the Windows Explorer, let me remove this. Okay, in the search box, you put Ctrl+V, then enter. Then it's going to generate on any of your Explorers the battery report on the system. So on this system, I have 2 batteries. So let me first give you a calculation. So it's telling me that this battery has a design capacity of 17,902 milliwatts. The full charge capacity is 14,820 milliwatts. The cycle count is 212. So it's giving me a report of the first battery on this laptop. Okay, so with that, I can quickly do a quick calculation. Let me grab my calculator. I put it out. Okay, so you want to have the full charge capacity over the design capacity, then you multiply it by 100 for you to have an idea of the percentage that is left of the battery. So be it brand new you are getting, be it a fairly new laptop, you can actually do this calculation just by yourself immediately when you are purchasing an item. So let's have it. I'll have my 14,820, okay, divided by the design capacity, which is 17,902, then multiplied by 100. Okay, good. So I'm having my results 82.78. So that tells me I still have about 82% capacity on this battery. So for time's sake, let me quickly go to the next battery. So this is a good battery, of course. You are getting a system and you find 82%, that's fine. My benchmark would be 70%. You still have a 70%, it's still okay. But anything below 70%, then I think you have to be wary. Okay, so let me quickly check the other battery. The other battery for this system is showing me battery 2, 51,000 milliwatts design capacity. Then the full charge capacity is telling me 14,000 plus. So I'll quickly say 14,887 divided by 51,000, okay, multiplied by 100, good, equals 29.19. This is bad. So the second battery on my laptop, of course, I intentionally use it just to see, for myself. I've not checked this before. The second battery is actually bad. So you can't go with this kind of battery. This battery is bad, totally bad. So in this case, you might just have to ask for another battery, or just use another system. So this report is for real. So of course, the live report is what the command prompt told us earlier that it's going to be giving us. So if you go through the reports, you'll be able to see everything. You can go through it, but the short summary is what I had given you earlier at the beginning. You can see this is a laptop I have been using for a couple of years now, and I didn't get it brand new. You get, so this report is actually detailed, but just for a synopsis and the one you can understand quickly, it is the one at the top, this top one, and I've given you the calculation. Now The fourth one has to do with this nice technology that our companies, Microsoft, Dell, HP, they've given us. Now, this thing has to do with a USB port. You know, often you have 2, 3, 4 USB ports, right? So if you look closely, you will discover one of those USB ports can actually help you charge your phones or any other device that uses 5 volts while the laptop is shut down actually. So anywhere you see this kind of symbol, a battery symbol and a charging symbol, it tells you it could be on your USB, it could be on your USB-C, it could be on your normal USB-A, you know. So anywhere you see it, it tells you that you can actually charge your device, especially your phone, using what? The laptop, without the laptop necessarily being on. So in this case, you are happy. That is good. That is what it's meant for. But the bad side to the battery, to the internal battery of the laptop is, if you leave it too long, that is, the battery earlier was something maybe on 30%, then you allow that phone to drain the internal battery totally, then you will be falling the victim of the point I gave you, the second point I gave you. I gave you a second point, you know, it will drain that battery to level 0. So the normal volt that charges the battery will now be higher than the base level voltage that is now on the battery. So sometimes that base level can actually go to maybe 0 or 1, and it will be difficult for a 7 volt to push it up, you know. So you might have to see a technician for that, you know. So you want to avoid that. So that is your fourth option. You know, you want to prevent a situation whereby you are using your phone to charge and the phone drains your internal battery totally. So avoid it. Number 5, and that is the last one. So I'm going to restart the system now. Okay, so I want to access my BIOS. My BIOS here, Dell is quite explanatory when it comes to the BIOS. Okay, so now the idea is, for you to get a system, you need to confirm one thing. The thing you need to confirm is, you want to confirm that your battery is actually charging. By actually charging, I don't mean you should check out the charger lights. So to do this, number 1, if it's a Dell product, once the system is being powered on, when you punch your F2 key, then it comes to this BIOS environment. Just come to battery information. Battery information. So it shows you 83%, and it's telling you it is discharging. The battery health is telling you it's excellent. So from excellence, you can then have the AC adapter. You know, the AC adapter is showing you not installed. So I'll go ahead now and install my AC adapter. You see that? Okay. I put it in, and it's telling me high dude, but I'll give it some time charging. Right? This is like 70% in. You need to confirm one more thing for you to be sure that your battery is actually charging. This 83 has to move from 83 to 84. That is when I can say your system is working fine. You know why? Because when the percent increases from one to the other, it shows you that your battery is fine, your charger is fine, and the panel inside the system is also perfect. The 3 of them are fine. Do you understand that? So that's the information I wanted to give you. The 3 is perfect once it moves to 84. So I'll quickly show you, in case you are purchasing another system and it's not a Dell product. In fact, some Dell don't have this kind of BIOS environment, you know. So I'll show you that same typical example on Windows. You see, it has increased to 84. So that tells you everything is fine. Dell is also good at one thing. This health here could tell you excellent. It could tell you fair. It could tell you poor. Do you understand? It makes you know that this battery is okay or not. Do you get the point? I believe you get the point. It tells you that. So I'll quickly show you now the last one that still has to do with this kind of information, but by Windows, especially on Windows 10 and Windows 11. to give you earlier has to do with Windows helping you to see your battery that is actually working perfectly. Do you understand? So I've told you 3 things. Once your system is moving up, once your battery is increasing, it confirms 3 things to be good. Number 1 is the panel, the charger, and the battery itself. So let me quickly show you how Windows does that properly. You want to come to the battery indicator. Let me quickly grab my charger again. So I'll come here quickly. Okay, I have it plugged in. Now this battery is showing me 51%. The battery is showing me 51%, and so I'll quickly, okay, good. Now you can see this is 51%, and I have my charger indicator. Well, I'm waiting for something has to show here. It's going to tell me something like 10 minutes, 20 minutes to fully charge. When Windows is able to estimate that to you see it's bringing it up now. Time until fully charged, 1 hour. When Windows tells you that, once you can see that on Windows show out, then it can give you confirmation. Just be rest assured that it's going to increase. That's a very big clue. Even if it's on 0 and that 0% is showing you it's taking like forever before it increases. Once the system can estimate, I mean Windows, you can see now it has increased to 52. So once it can estimate for you that this is the amount of time remaining for it to be fully charged, then the rest assured is going to charge. So it's a confirmation of 3 things. Your charger is fine, your battery is fine, then your panel is fine. Thank you very much. I hope you've been able to understand these tips. I know they are long, but they are things you need to look out for when using your battery on the system and before purchasing a system. Thank you very much. We'll meet you on the next episode.